Okay, so what we have on the 15th of November, which is tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Remember now the news is for US news is at 9:30, not our usual 8:30 because of daylight savings. Okay, so it's a bit later now, 1 hour later at 9:30. What we have tomorrow is the US CPI and the US retail sales. Okay, why US CPI and why US retail sales is important to the overall economic policy is because what's CPI? Consumer Price Index. So CPI is Consumer Price Index. It actually tells us what's the inflation rate of in the US economy. Okay, so central banks want inflation to go up or to go down? Go up. Okay, so if you look at this projection, previous was 0.5. Forecasted or projected is 0.1. Are they expecting it to go up or down? Down. Okay, so that's one thing we as a red flag there. Okay, retail sales, when people are spending more money, they're buying more things. Does that show that they are confident with the economy or not so confident? More confident because you earn, you spend, you're confident. Okay, and now it's coming to the end of the year as well. We expect spending to always increase. What we have previous was 1.6, forecasted is 0% growth. Does that sound very good or sound very bad? Okay, so what we actually have here is we got two scenarios, two projections of not very positive economic numbers. But because we have not very positive economic numbers, what could that also mean? That means if it's anything above 0.1, would it be better than expected? Would it be easy to get to above 0.1? You know, even if it's anything, even if it's the same as last month, and 0.5 is a lot better than 0.1, it's going to be a lot better than expected. Same thing in retail sales. Anything above 0 is better than expected. So while in this case we see that they are quite negative in terms of their projections, we also see that the chance of an upset is very high, of being either higher than forecasted or lower than forecasted could be very high. If they're so negative, it could also be very, very low, right? But for me, what I see is I think that the chance of it being above forecasted to be higher than it being below forecasted. Okay, so if actual is higher than forecasted, what do we think is going to happen to the US dollar? Strengthen, right? So USD to strengthen. Okay, so as we spoke about just then, and we look at your charts, you know, remember, don't enter before the news. You know, wait for the news to come out at 9:30. Let the numbers show you or tell you what's likely to happen. Then, if you do see US dollar strengthening, trade along with what it's telling you. Alright. So that's the 15th of November, which is tomorrow night. Following that big news at 9:30, on 16th in the morning, early morning, again 8:30, not 9:30, daylight savings as well, 8:30, we have Aussie employment change and Aussie unemployment rate. Now what do you notice from this? 18.9k, that's the forecasted, and then the previous was 19.8k, and the unemployment rate at 5.5 and 5.5%. Is there do they expect a very big change happening? No, you know, so while previous and forecasted are quite closely matched, do you think that if they don't expect it to happen much, to change much, I actually see it as more like probably going to be a bit of a non-event. That means numbers will probably come out quite similar. You know, even if it goes down or up by a little bit for the unemployment change, it's probably not going to move the Aussie US significantly. So I actually think that in this case, what I call it is a non-event. A non-event. So probably nothing much is going to happen to the Aussie dollar at 8:30 on the 16th of November. Make sense? Okay, so any other questions?
But that also makes it say that if it's a very negative number or positive number, they will definitely have a big movement.
Yep. So while there is a chance for a very big upset, we also want to place a little bit of faith in the analysts who came up with all the forecasts. You know, they're not likely to be that far off compared to in this scenario. If they are 0.2 away, a slight deviation is already a very big change already compared to this one. You know, and I told you more on the employment change, because if unemployment rate does drop by 0.1%, it is a big change already. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we look at this as our part of our mentoring sessions. We'll keep updating you, giving you projections of what is coming up within the week, and then we'll look at your charts as well to help you plan for your trades with all this in mind as well. Cool. Thank you.